Hi, I'm Dr. Pauline Dillard, Executive Director and CEO of the Dunamas Center for Marriage, Birthing, and Family Studies in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Here at the Dunamas Center, we strive to bring praise, honor, and glory to God in all that we do. This month, we have a written newsletter instead of me talking, and I would love for you to go read it. In that article, I'm talking about how important it is that we connect to care to people before we start bringing spiritual connection. And we want to remember that Jesus always cared for people where they were and met them where they were before he started to tell them about the kingdom of heaven. So go read that and really see if God might not minister to you in ways that you could really connect to the hearts of people. In this little video, I just want to update you on a lot of things that are happening here at the Dunamas Center. We have got a lot of changes happening this year. We have a lot going on, and I'm really excited to share it with you. First of all, I'm not sure a lot of you realize that we have a Blog Talk Radio show. It's at blogtalkradio.com, and we are now doing it weekly. So the new shows upload on Mondays at 12 noon Mountain Standard Time. You can listen live at that time, or you can go into the archives and find the shows later. When you go to blogtalkradio.com, you're going to want to put in Your Dunamas Life. That's the name of our radio show. And look for me in the picture, and that way you'll know you have the right show. And so basically what we talk about is we have a weekly format on the show, and each week of the month we do something different. The first week we talk about childbirth. The second week we talk about nutrition. The third week we talk about mental and spiritual health. The fourth week we talk about marriage and family. And if a month has a fifth week, we want to be able to answer your questions, address your concerns, maybe even talk about topics that are interesting to you. But in order for us to do that, we need you to send us those questions, comments, and ideas. So what you would do is you would send that to Dunamas Life, Dunamas Life, at dunamascenter.com. When we get those, then we'll be able to bring those answers to you at the radio show and maybe even on some of the newsletters. So I'd really love for you to do that. What I want to talk about first, or second, I guess at this point, is our childbirth piece here at the Dunamas Center. 2013, we're really growing in the childbirth education here. So our childbirth program now has 3 portions. We have the Choices for Discerning Childbirth Seminar, which is an all-day seminar on options in birthing and choices and how to connect to God for His best birth for you. We then have a 2-week early bird class. You come anytime in your pregnancy and you learn about nutrition and exercise and problems of pregnancy and how to, maybe deal with some of the things that can cause you some distress and understanding gestation and how your baby's growing. Then we have a 6-week childbirth prep class that you would take. We hopefully ideally finish 2 to 4 weeks before your due date, which will tell you all about labor and birthing and the role of the dad and how the dad can support you during birthing and labor. So really watch for those. Our next seminar is April 13th here at the Dunamas Center in Colorado Springs. And then the early bird classes, we got one March 28th and April 4th. And our next 6-week class is April 11th through May 16th. But do go to our website. Do check out what's going on there. Hit the birthing button. And there's a calendar of all the upcoming classes. And our website is www.dunamascenter.com. So you can find that all there. Along those lines, we also have teacher trainings coming up. We're very excited that we can now train other people with this very Christ-centered, integrated with evidence-based teaching. So if you've always wanted to teach childbirth classes and you really want to bring that element of who are we to God into all of the information and the knowledge piece, well, we're the place to do that. And we're going to be doing that twice this year. So again, go to our website, get all the details about that, and come to one of our seminars around the United States. We also have some counselor trainings coming up, and this is a new thing for us as well. I'm going to be doing 2 trainings, one on August 24th and one down in Houston on October 3rd. The day is going to be split into 2 different 4-hour seminars. The morning seminar is going to be about helping counselors to understand birthing trauma, PTSD after cesareans, and how to counsel couples and help them to come out of that trauma. A lot of counselors do not understand why this is an issue. And I want to help you to understand that and train you on how to help couples to heal from it. And anybody from all over the U.S. could do this. I get asked a lot, who in my area can counsel me? And my honest answer is, I really don't know. So you can get people in your area just by doing this training that I could say, hey, I know, and this is who's in your area. The other thing I run into is people tell me, well, I went to a counselor about the PTSD after the cesarean or after the birth trauma, and the counselor didn't understand why that was a problem for me. So this is really an issue, and I'd really love to have you come take that training. In in August, when we do it here in Colorado Springs, it's going to be specifically Christ-centered. In October, when I do it in Houston, it will be a more general teaching to counselors there. We're again going to be in Houston, obviously, in the fall, and there's going to be a lot going on there, and I'll talk more about that as we get closer to that. But we also want to offer our Choices for a Discerning Childbirth to pastors and church leaders, and that's going to be on June 15th. And we're going to offer it to you free. We just think it is so important for pastors and church leaders to understand the value of childbirth education in the church and how to help people to get closer to God during this amazing time in our lives, how we can walk away from that having really connected to God, be more strong and confident in our walk as a Christian, whether it's the mom or the dad. And so if you know a pastor or a church leader that might benefit from that, then please have them contact us. We're also offering some diet coaching. Catherine is doing some minimal diet coaching right now, but she's also going to graduate school and training in that. So our whole nutrition piece is going to be expanding as well, which is really exciting because that's the body piece of God making us body, mind, and spirit, and we want to also be aware of what's going on there. Don't forget we have our premarital and our marriage intensive counseling as well. With all this excitement over the birthing and the nutrition, we tend to get that lost a little bit in there. So don't forget that you can still sign up for counseling with Dr. Pauline, me, I guess, and we'll go from there. So that's a lot of what's going on at the center. I also just want to tell those who gave us financial support at the end of February how really grateful we are to you. Unfortunately, that's kind of a monthly thing for us, is that we're just going from month to month right now, and that makes it very difficult. And so in order to meet the financial needs of everybody working in the center, Sharon has taken another job, so she's not going to be here to answer the phone all the time. I've had to actually open up more counseling hours that payment and fees are required during those hours, which is something, to be honest with you, I didn't want to have to do. But in order for us to support being able to offer counseling and birth classes to anybody, regardless of ability to pay, I'm going to have to do that. So I'd really like to ask you to pray, really pursue God, and see if He might not want you to make a monthly commitment to keep things rolling here, to change lives. We are changing lives for Christ here. And a lot of times people don't understand that. If you go to our website again at dunamascenter.com, you can go to the About button and hit testimonies, and you're going to see how lives have really been impacted for Christ by what we've done here in our counseling, what we've done here in our childbirth education, and even what we've done here for nutrition. It's been really exciting to see people who are like, I'm just so confused, I don't know what to do, but God really wants me to make a change. And then to have them sit with Catherine and they're just like, oh my gosh, it was such a relief, and I feel so much stronger to be able to do what God has asked me to do. So, keep in mind that this is really valuable in the lives of the church, in the lives of people in the church. So no, we're not a 501c3, and that means you can't tax deduct it. But you know what? I don't see anywhere in the Bible that people made donations to the work of God because the government would give them a tax deduction for doing it. So you really need to just go to your heart and say, Jesus, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do for the Dunamas Center? How do you want me to support their work there? Can I make a sizable contribution so startup costs go away completely? Do I make a monthly contribution so that the monthly bills are met? Do I make a one-time contribution of even just $5 or $10? Because if 100 of you would do that, we wouldn't even be talking to you about this today, to be honest with you. So I just really want to ask you to do that. But we love bringing you our resources, and that's my goal, is to just be able to say, hey, we can bring you whatever we have to offer, and it's not really a big deal. But like everybody else, We have to live in the natural world, and we have to live with the fact that it's a money-based system. So I would really, really appreciate you continuing to pray about that. So also pray for everything that I just brought out. And I hope you go and read the article that I wrote, and I hope that you really enjoy it. And I really look forward to talking to you again next time.